Hey everybody, welcome to How Do I Know You with your hosts Mark and Dwayne.
What up?
And today, you know what? Today fucking sucked. I got off like a 12-hour shift. I was fucking up to my eyeballs in fucking paperwork. That's a cliche saying, but you know what fucking sucks is like my job. It should be very easy. I'm just fucking pissed off today.
Go ahead, man.
I just got off of work. I was like fucking some dude quit, right?
Some dude quit.
And with the three of us, it was like we barely fucking made it. I mean, we made our deadline.
Barely?
Now there's only two of us.
Now it's only two.
The fucking company had a 2-week notice.
2 weeks.
And they didn't even interview anybody until the week he was gone.
Interview. Not interview.
Interview. That's how mad I am.
No views.
Fuck, dude.
No
I can't even say shit right. And then for fucking 2 weeks, and then they interviewed one person. And they hired him right away.
Right away.
Which is like, you should have fucking done that maybe in the 2 weeks that that guy was leaving.
You know what I'm saying? The little background.
But now, the guy doesn't start until July 8th.
Didn't start till the 8th.
That's like fucking 3 or 4 weeks of just us barely making. Like today, fucking 12 hours, we didn't even finish. We didn't even finish. We had to leave.
Finish it all.
We're like, fuck this, I'm tired, let's go home.
Fuck it.
I hate office jobs, man. Like, it's cool, but the higher ups just don't give a shit.
Not at all.
And like my department, you need my department to pay so people get checks.
You need it. Payroll. Let's do it.
But people want to fucking send in shit super fucking late.
Super late. And
they don't give a shit because as long as they send it before 5 o'clock on whatever, technically they did it, and now it's up to us.
Now it's up to y'all.
But fucking no one wants to help our department make sure these people get their shit in early or on time.
Nope, not at all.
I'm fucking pissed off today. My brain's dead. I
do the bird coffee all real quick.
I'm so fucking pissed, man. Today's so annoying. My brain, it's like you ever get like so fucking mad at your job and that your brain just like shuts off and you're like, yeah, whatever. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Like, whatever.
The last like 2 months of my job, I've really contemplated like, oh man, I can't wait till this podcast takes off. So I'm quitting.
For real, man.
I'm quitting so hard.
People start subscribing.
I'm quitting so hard and long. Like,
fuck you.
I quit.
I'm not even mad at the guy that quit, man. He got a way better offer and like reasonable hours with reasonable people that know how to fucking run a business.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking do it, man.
I'm so cynical when it comes to like my job and everything. Anytime someone's leaving or like has a birthday and we have to like, because I don't know if you guys do this because I also have an office job, but anytime like a birthday card gets passed around, I pretty much reveal my true feelings about the company and the cards.
But make too much money.
But see, no one reads the cards, so like I find little ways to just just vent. So, like, anytime it's someone that I'm cool with or whatever, I'll just be like, don't show up tomorrow. Please don't show up tomorrow. If you show up tomorrow, that means you've lost all hope. But if you don't show up tomorrow, you still have a ways to go in your life. Or, like, I think I told one lady, like, now is a good time to get pregnant, maternity leave or some shit like that. Like, I was wilding, man. Like, I was just, like...
Anything to fuck with the company?
Anything to fuck with the company. And like, it's funny because some people, like, will see it and they'll read it and, like, they'll message me or, like, tell me, like, when they walk by, like, Dwayne, I read the card. That was hilarious. And I'll be like...
How do they know it was you?
I'm like, exactly. I'm like, oh, because I put my name under it, too. Yeah, I'm that bold at where I just don't care because they won't fire me.
Who's DC?
Who's DC? I meet the quota. They're not going to fire me. They need me. But, like, this one dude, I said, if I were you, I'd call out tomorrow. On second thought, I'm just going to call out tomorrow. Happy birthday. Just because try it, guys. Seriously, try it, and see what happens or whatever. If you have jobs like us where they just don't give two shits, all they care about is like the bottom dollar. They don't care about like how work gets done, if it's done correctly, if it matters. Nope, it only matters until it hits the fan. Then it's everyone's fault.
Right, as long as everything's being fucking handled, quote unquote, whatever. They don't, like, higher ups don't give a shit. Yeah,
not at all.
Unless it starts bugging them.
But today's topic is jobs. We fucking hate them. No. So today's topic is Lavar Ball and the recent. I'm doing the quotation fingers on camera. You guys can't see me, but the recent controversy that was happening with him and Molly Qerim from First Take, Jalen Rose's wife. If you guys know who Jalen Rose is, former NBA basketball player, former Fab Five player, in college or whatever. But there was a big controversy because Lavar Ball was on ESPN and he was being interviewed. He was on First Take. If you guys watch First Take, that's Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman. It's one of my favorite shows.
You'd probably recognize him if you saw him.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows since I was a child, when it was cold pizza. And that was because I'd wake up super early and my mom would have it on. If you guys didn't know, we're from California. I'm not going to say LA because you guys already know we're from Long Beach. But we're in LA County area, right? So most people in the morning would have on Good Day LA. But for me, I would go in the kitchen and I would turn on ESPN and I would watch cold pizza. Then it became First Take and all that cool stuff, right? So it's a sports debate show. And it's pretty good, but LeVar Ball I'm queuing up the video. LeVar Ball was on First Take, and there was a transition, which was kind of weird, because it was in between LeVar and Stephen A. kind of just going back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
But Molly Qerim interjected and said...
And to set up the picture, they're not even in the same studio. Like,
No.
It has to cut between, like, different screens to, like, basically a satellite interview between all these people.
Yeah, Stephen A. is where LeVar Ball is, so they're in the same area, but the interviews they're interviewing remotely. So
Yeah, and then, what's her name?
Molly Qerim.
Molly, it looks like she's at, like, the ESPN headquarters.
Yeah, her and Max are in, I believe, Bristol, Connecticut.
Right, where the ESPN campus is.
Yeah, where the campus is. But LeVar says a comment that sparked some outrage, and I'm just going to not show the video and let you guys hear the audio and you be the judge.
Go ahead,
LeVar,
before I get back to him.
LeVar, can I switch gears with you because I have a question
You
here.
can switch gears with me anytime.
Let's stay focused here. All right. Can you please explain to me what the big...
Go ahead.
That's it. That's what he said.
So,
Pig.
I know we're about to enter slippery slope territory because everyone's super sensitive.
Should we get in our glove? Should we get in our misogynistic glove?
Misogyny. No, fuck that. This isn't even misogynistic.
It wasn't.
I'm not doing that shit. No, not today. No, I'm not allowing this.
Putting the glove away.
The glove is not needed. If the glove doesn't fit, OJ didn't do it.
Our
See what I
last
did there?
episode.
See what I did there? I recalled it and added a bar to it. But okay. So what? Hopefully you guys heard the audio. If you haven't heard the audio, you can go find it on YouTube or Twitter or whatever. So from that audio, and I would tell you guys to watch the video too, because the video, in my opinion, makes it even clearer than the audio, because the audio can leave some interpretation.
Right, like what was he doing with his hands, or was he kind of gesturing? Or...
This is on video, his statement and her reaction and things like that. So I'll let you guys be the judge. But my first question is, did you find anything wrong with that? And let me just start by saying, first off, I get it. As you guys know, if you guys have been watching the show or listening to the show for however long you've been listening to, we are two males. But if you don't know our track record or history yet, we've been very, very open with women on how we are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Accepting, and we understand male faults. Yeah, we're willing to learn. We understand male faults. We understand all the bullshit that has happened to women and stuff in the past. And we get why things like the Me Too movement and everything is acceptable. It's needed, honestly, because stuff has to change. With that being said, we also are realists, and we have a heavy PhD in logic.
And common sense, and a minor in common sense.
Yeah, and a minor in common
sense.
Right. So
I dropped out of college. What's up?
Yeah, let's get it. But Mark, did you find anything wrong with that statement?
No, absolutely not. Because think about it. He could have said the same shit, and he didn't even switch up his tone. He didn't even do that little double entendre innuendo tone that people can do.
Right.
You know, he just was like, you can switch gears with me anytime you want.
Right.
What's up? That's a very cold. I feel like it's a very respectable way to hit on somebody, to be like, yeah, what's up? Especially in front of people.
Right.
You know, because he could have been like, hey, you want to switch gears anytime you want? Not switching tones, grabbing his crotch or something. He wasn't. He was sitting at a desk.
So you think he was hitting on her?
Yeah, of course. I don't think it was a very. It was one of those I'm gonna shoot from half court. Like I'm gonna just fucking throw it and see what happens. It wasn't like I doubt he thought like it was gonna go somewhere. Like this was really gonna work.
Okay.
It was a little like I'm gonna shoot my shot, and if she decides to, I don't know, text me or like after this, off air, it's just a catalyst. Like that was just a catalyst for him. Like he was hoping that could lead into other things, but I doubt he really thought it was gonna go to.
Let me okay. Let's back up. Let me add a little backstory.
Back up.
I want to preference that Mark does not know any of these people.
I don't.
So he's making just a general statement on two people, right?
Like most of you are, because I'm sure you guys don't know them either.
But okay, Molly Qerim is the moderator on First Take. Molly Qerim is married. She's married to Jalen Rose. All right, Jalen Rose is an analyst on ESPN, former NBA player. Like I said, Fab Five and everything like that. That's Molly Qerim. Lavar Ball is the father of Lonzo, LaMelo, and LiAngelo Ball, the Ball brothers. Obviously, his most famous son is Lonzo, who is in the NBA. Currently plays for the New Orleans Pelicans and everything like that.
They were on the Lakers, if that makes.
Well, Lonzo was on the Lakers.
Yeah.
LiAngelo is LiAngelo the young one? Whatever. The other two. One is the youngest, and he is, I believe, playing ball overseas, or he's going to be playing ball overseas. I don't know if he came back to start.
They all play basketball in some kind of professional sense.
Right.
Okay.
But the youngest one should be up to be drafted, if not next year, the year after next year.
Okay. Wow.
So LaVar Ball is also married. To keep that in mind. Now, going back with the backstory I just said.
Okay.
Do you still believe he was hitting on Molly Qerim?
Hitting, yeah, I still believe he was hitting on her. Yeah, but I'm sure it was like if they call him out, it was just like, oh, I was just joking around, like one of those things. I think that's what he would say, because I'm sure he would never admit to like, oh yeah, I was hitting on her. Like, no, I was just joking around.
Okay. I am on the complete opposite side of the fence here. I feel like he didn't do anything. Like, I don't feel like he was hitting on her. I feel like literally that was a complete reach by... And I'm not putting this on Molly Qerim. I'm not. Because I feel like there is an aspect of when you are... One, I'm going to say the other thing I'm going to say. When you're a woman, right, and you're in a male-dominated field, which is her field is male dominated. I get it. Two, when you add on the fact that Molly is attractive, right? I'm quite sure there are dudes and other athletes and probably other anchors who have tried to shoot their shot at Molly. Hell, her husband is an anchor, and that's how they met, clearly, right?
So he shot his shot.
He shot his shot, and he scored. Good for Jalen. Love Jalen, right? So I know she is used to like that type of behavior. Not saying it's right. I'm just saying she knows what that type of behavior is, right? The only reason I'm saying that this was completely different is because one, LaVar Ball, he gets a bad rap because, and I don't think it's something that he's earned, first of all. I think it's something that the media bestowed upon him, which is whatever you want to call it. But he gets the rap of being someone who says outrageous things, and he, he's a lightning rod, and he'll say things, and he's good for a sound bite and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And to me, anything that LaVar Ball has said about his kids, and I can't think of anything else he's really said that hasn't been really scrutinized the way this has been scrutinized. Because I remember he had this is why I wanted to have this conversation, but he had a run-in with another radio show host. Her name was Kristen Leahy. She was on Colin Cowherd's radio show. Mm-hmm. So Colin Cowherd is on Fox. He was on her radio show. She was pretty much the B mic on that show, right?
Okay.
Colin was the A mic. So Kristen Leahy, I believe the day before or a couple days before, she was saying some disparaging things about LeVar and about his parenting skills and how she felt like, he wasn't a good father and how he was very demanding and things like that. Mm-hmm. And to me, any logical, again, we're using logic and common sense. I don't find it in any way wrong if you say something about someone's children. That's a no-no. If you say something about someone's parenting and how you feel like they should treat their children, that's also a no-no because that's their kids, and it's not your place to tell someone.
Right. I feel like when that happens a lot, like let's say day to day,
right.
I feel like anytime the parent gets mad, the other person automatically does that thing like, oh, whoa, sensitive. Like I was just like talking.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you could say these things to these parents, like these fucked up things, and no response. Like if you get any kind of angry, which it's a normal response, you're looked at as crazy automatically. Right. Which is fucking weird to me. But continue, sorry.
So I'm trying to look for the video right now because if I can get the audio, it's even better.
Okay.
But so basically, I don't know if it was the next day or like the day after, LeVar comes on the show. So LeVar heard the comments that she made. So as LeVar is having the interview with Colin, Kristen is in the background. Right. She's the B mic. So and also this show is kind of weird because it's also obviously it's a radio show, right? But the thing that Fox does is they record a lot of their radio shows. Mm-hmm. So you can watch it on like Fox Sports 1 or whatever if you have the channel. But it's weird because they have Colin like set up in this super high seat. Like he's like obviously like the star of the show.
Yeah.
But they'll have someone like Kristen or whatever. Like she'd be off to the side, like in this smaller. It's like a weird setup. And also, I mean, if we're going over today's like, that's an ad.
Ads now.
If we're going like on today's viewpoints on like misogyny and like hierarchy and shit like that, I feel like it's kind of clear with that. But whatever, that's another issue for another day.
But okay, set up what he like. Okay, so beyond all that, I'm guessing he responded in like a negative way to what she said.
To me again, no. What he did was he was talking to Colin. They were having a conversation. I'll just play the audio first.
Okay.
You sold any shoes yet?
Yeah, I sold a good amount to me. Like I said, there's different amounts.
How many?
Stay in your lane.
Wait, I'm just curious.
I don't even worry about her over there.
Why not? I think that's kind of disrespectful.
She says she scares Lonzo. Lonzo's scared of me. She scares me. That's why I don't look that way. I don't look over there because she scares me. I'm thinking assault right now.
I'm just trying.
Leave me alone. I'll tell you, 400-500 pair.
So she's a reporter. Her job is to
She can report to whoever she wants behind her. I'm talking to you, Colin.
Well, what is your problem with me?
Hey, my problem is you are a hater.
Why
I would never wear a big baller shirt. But
no, I didn't
don't
say
even
that.
Talk to me. But I heard you say it. I'm not even worried about it.
I said that I wouldn't wear something that as a woman.
Big baller. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
With all due respect, you're a great reporter. Just not reporting on me.
I have a right to say what shirt I would and wouldn't wear.
Welcome to Big Baller Zone.
Well, no, I think I actually was saying it as like a point. No, I didn't say no. I didn't say it was offensive. I didn't say it was offensive. Yeah. I just said, if you want to, work with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, to maybe have something that appeals to women.
I thought that was a legit. I mean, I don't have to agree, but I thought that was a pretty good point.
I don't agree.
But I thought it was a good point.
No, I'm actually saying it as like a point of advice.
I'm not friends with her. I don't even see that. I don't even see it.
I wasn't saying it as like I would never wear this.
What's this show about again? Ain't we talking about shoes? I don't want to talk about all that. Next.
Well, I think in order to have a successful company, you're going to have women who like your brand.
Yeah, if you have a women's company. But anyways.
Oh, so you're not marketing to women.
We're talking about Big Baller brand.
Okay.
You know what? He don't need no credibility to say I'm a gangster and I do this and I do that. No, Lonzo's a ball player. He is who he is. And like I said, and going back to Whitlock, I don't think he can comment on anything but snacks.
Now, that's a little harsh.
It's going to be harsh because he want to be harsh on me.
So you disrespect women and people for their weight?
No, that's what you say. I didn't say nothing about no weight.
No, you just said that to me.
Like I told her, I'm not even worried about you right now. Keep in your lane.
Can you look me in the eye?
Like I said, Whitlock, I don't want to look you in the eye. You scare me to death.
Oh.
Like I said.
Compliment.
Thank you.
Yes.
They wouldn't want to work with you anyway because you don't respect women, so.
She's after you today.
Oh, I don't respect women, but I'm the one that's married. I'm good. Well, she can say what she wants. She's trying to put it. I never disrespect women. But I tell you what.
You did on the show today.
If you act like that, guess what? Something's coming to you.
Oh.
And it's okay.
Do you think?
Are you threatening me?
Oh, see how she tried to turn the words? I would never threaten you.
You said something's coming to me.
I don't know what it is. I'm not a psychic.
Oh.
Okay, first I want to comment. I hate when people do this thing where it's just like they're commenting on something you did, like personally to you, and then they turn it around and go like, you're talking about you said me personally, but I'm gonna fucking expand it to all women now.
Exactly.
I fucking hate when people do that shit because then it's the same thing growing up like, oh, it's because I'm black, oh, it's because I'm this, because I'm this, I'm Asian, blah, 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 whatever. It's just like, no, is that fucking no, you motherfucker, like quit making this about everyone.
Right.
So I hate that she did that, and then if she was like commenting on his like parenting style and everything before that clip started, then yeah, like the dude, like anything you say is gonna be like, no, fuck off, like shut up.
Right.
Like I don't want to hear you no more. Like I don't want to hear no more about like how I'm a bad parent or whatever.
Right.
And all this shit. So, but if you did comment with no context, no nothing, like how they cut the clip.
Right.
He seems misogynistic as fuck.
Exactly.
They made it seem like he was just like.
They made it seem like he was wild, right? And that's my point with people like Lavar Ball and things like that, because of course people like me, I know the backstory of that story because I listened to Cowherd's show. So I know days prior she was talking about his parenting skills. She was talking about like he said in the thing that she said things like, oh, if he was my father, I'd be scared of him. I bet Lonzo was scared of him and things like that, which is like he's scared of his dad who took him to all these games, practices, and things like that. Who Lonzo has openly said in the media 8 million times that he loves his dad and he would do anything for his dad.
Right.
Like, but that's not enough, right? So then also not to mention, Lonzo he listened to his dad and decided to have a shoe company that his dad was like, look, we can do it independently. We don't need these people. Listen to his dad, all right? Anywhere else in that equation, if anyone else does some shit like that, so I don't care who, white, whoever, right? Hispanic, go down the line or whatever. I feel like it's looked at as like, that's okay, that is fine, that is cool, I get it. But for some reason, this black man trying to lead his kids and be like, yo, we need ownership. We don't need to go to these companies like Nikes and Adidas that's going to treat you like another house nigga. It's going to treat you like, nigga, go play basketball. We selling shoes over here.
Yep, playing our shoes. Don't say anything too crazy because then we'll take the deal away and whatever.
Don't care about you. Won't put your money back anywhere that you want to put it. Won't invest in anything for you.
We'll trash your fucking name probably.
Yeah, like they will do that, especially if you get hurt or start to suck. They will instantly get rid of you. He's like, nah, fuck that. We can do it. We can do it ourselves. That was looked at something that's so crazy. Oh my god!
It's always crazy until you make the money. And like fucking Chance the Rapper, that's fucking crazy what he did. Now he's on top of the world. Now in like being independent, it's like, oh, you can do it.
Right.
Everyone can do it. Everyone can do it.
But there was a couple things from that clip that were just, I feel like white America didn't get it, what he was saying when he was like, I don't want to look at you, I'm scared of you, and everything like that. Because LeVar Ball is a black male, and there is a white woman saying these things to him. And he knows when he says things like, I am scared of you, and I'm not going to look at you because I know what this is. He knows anything I say to you, about you, towards you, it's going to be flipped as I'm attacking you. Yep. So I'm not
any kind of like furrow of the brow, whatever.
Yeah. I'm not going to say nothing towards you. I'm not. All right. That's why he was like, yo, stay in your lane. All right. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. All right. And then when he explained it, because you're a hater, that was not good enough for her. She kept going and everything like that, which I get it. She has a job too. She is a reporter, so she has to. I get it. She's trying to get him to make sound bites. I understand that. Cool, right? But exactly what he was afraid of happened later on in that clip, which was her then saying like, you know, pretty much,
you'll get what's coming to you.
Yeah, you'll get what's coming to you. Which again, that is a common thing that people say. When you do fuck shit's gonna happen to you.
Yeah, basically karma,
right?
kind of shit, yeah.
Karma, right? With him being like, it doesn't matter. whatever, something's gonna happen to you, instantly gets turned to, you threatening me? Am I being threatened? Or whatever, which is exactly what he was trying to avoid.
Yep.
Right? And this is how this gets spun. So he's had run-ins. The reason I showed that clip was to show everyone, hopefully, who is listening, who has, again, logic and common sense. Someone who is, again, if someone says something about you, people who are listening, they said something about you, about how you parent, how you do whatever, right? It's not any of their business, one. Two, also, it's your family. Would you not have an issue with that? Why would you consider anything that these people have to say?
Yep.
Why? Why should he? Because he's Lavar Ball? For what? Like, and that's the thing that I feel like gets misconstrued. So we fast forward back to the Molly Qerim thing. Him having the statement of, like, you know, you can switch gears with me anytime.
Yeah.
I was really looking at that like, okay. I was waiting for it. Because me, I'm the type of person where I know, like, LeVar Ball, he has walked this tightrope his whole time in the media, in the public eye. He's walked this huge tightrope because he's black, all right? His sons are successful. He's made himself and his family money that, you know, can't be taken away. So what happens is when you're a minority and you do these type of things, you walk this real tightrope because basically you have to be able to continue to tell the truth, which is what LeVar does or feels like he does, but also understand that, okay, everything I say will be looked at with a magnifying glass and a fine-tooth comb and everything like that. And not to mention, everything that I say will be twisted.
Right, and then people like those type of reporters looking for a soundbite, looking for you to go crazy to like, to be like, well, I got his like downfall, and then I got this money for.
And then everything becomes a narrative. It doesn't become the truth at that point. It becomes, how can we make this guy look a certain way, right?
Right.
So when you,
that's cool. Like what you're saying right there, narrative versus the truth.
Yeah,
it's basically what lawyers do, right? To get whoever off.
Yeah, we can go super in depth with that because I'm a former criminal. No, I'm playing.
We all know I was the criminal.
But that's a big thing that it's not even lawyers too. When you talk about the criminal justice system, period, it is a narrative, which is the prosecutor, the DA, all those people, versus a narrative, which is your lawyer, defense attorney, which is in the middle somewhere is the truth.
Yeah.
The thing is, people don't realize this, the truth never really gets found out in any of these cases. It's whatever the prosecutor and the DA want to paint the picture of you as versus whatever your lawyer's going to paint the picture of you as. And most of the time, they're skewed. Yeah. For both narratives.
It's like, you know, it's like what we said on our previous podcast. It was like when there's a victim, Trayvon Martin, they start painting his narrative right away by going like, oh, he used to rob places, blah, blah, blah. That narrative is already starting there. So like, just think of that when we're explaining it.
So with LeVar, they've been growing the narrative, and I get it because there is a black man who's very loud and who's talking very aggressively. They paint the narrative that he's
he shouldn't be doing that, man. He should be thankful he's there.
Yeah. He's a loose cannon.
The opportunity.
He's trying to take all his kids' spotlight. He's trying to, build his empire off his kids' back and all these things like that, right? So they're just, constantly building this narrative against him, right? And you have, obviously becomes the opposition of people being like, no, he's a black father who actually stayed in his kid's life, a black father who rose his kids to prominence, actually trained them to be to the point that they are now.
For real, to almost have all your kids be somewhat playing professionally basketball, that's crazy.
That's an accomplishment, all right? And obviously there's that narrative and things like that. We don't know what is what, all right? All we know is what we can see from both sides, right? So,
and you have to take out your bias, too.
Yeah, that's
you have to, because, I personally, anytime I saw him, on that kind of stuff, where I would, flip through Twitter and crap like that, I'd be like, oh, this guy's annoying. This guy's annoying, but knowing all this stuff too, you take out your hate from it, you take out your whatever from it, and just look at it purely facts, just bullet points on a piece of paper.
See, we're gonna get back to bias in a second, but let me go back to the whole Molly Qerim thing. When you say a thing like you can switch gears with me anytime, right? And then you see how Molly reacts Molly reacts a certain type of way. Stephen A. reacts a certain type of way. Max, I don't know if he reacted. I think he reacts a certain type of way too. But the only one who's like straight faced is Lavar.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's like, come on, go ahead. Like you can, yeah, let's go. Right. There was I believe someone else found a clip of Lavar saying the same thing to Molly like a year or so prior. It was the same exact thing, which was funny, and there wasn't a whole reaction to it, right? But Molly reacts, and like I said, I'm not putting this on Molly because she's a woman. I'm pretty sure.
I think we're saying that like that's what people attach to justify like, oh, this is what we're gonna use to justify banning Lavar.
Right. So I'm getting there, but Molly reacts, and then what happens is because Molly reacts, now here comes freaking all hell on Lavar.
Yeah.
So now, of course, social media in the world reacts, and it turns into Lavar shoots his shot at Molly. Molly's outraged and all these things like that and whatever, and like it just blows my mind. So then, of course, like it gets all over, all these other media platforms and things like that. So then the next day, ESPN releases a statement saying that Lavar Ball has been banned from all ESPN programming, television shows, all that cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, the next thing that happened was, in credit to Molly, she didn't comment during any of this stuff, right? Because it was clear, it was like, all right, they're trying to get this nigga, right?
Yeah.
She didn't comment.
She wouldn't have won at all. If she would have been like came to his defense like, no, it was just a joke, like, or it wasn't.
Right.
It was like whatever.
Right.
She gets shitted on by I don't know that side of like you're not fighting for like equal.
Right. So
rights,
she
blah,
didn't.
blah, blah.
She didn't come. She didn't say anything for a while. But everyone started to chime in, and then it was clear like there was a divide. There was a lot of people out there for the first time who were actually on Lavar's side and was like, okay, if you feel how you want to feel about him, that's fine. But I don't see how this is something he needs to be banned for. And then a lot of people made the connection. It's like, okay, a couple of days prior, his son gets traded from the Lakers. So his son, who was on a huge market, LA, he's on the LA Lakers with LeBron James and things like that. Now the narrative of his son on that team is gone. A lot of people are like, well, of course, now that his son has been traded to New Orleans, that narrative is gone. They're like, we don't need you on our programming anymore because we don't give a fuck about New Orleans.
Right. I never hear anything about
like the Pelicans and shit like that. Of course, they do have Zion Williams, who is number one pick. But even with that, Zion will not be as big of a star as he should be if he was in a huge market like LA, New York.
Right.
Whatever,
it's just how it works. Like you never hear about them until they're in the finals.
Right.
Like aka the fucking Raptors.
Exactly. So there's that narrative is going on and things like that. My question, recapping all this stuff, is have we gotten to the point now where, if you guys saw our parking lot discussion, that first episode we did, we had a similar like kind of debate, right? Molly Qerim reacted a certain type of way to what was said. LeVar Ball, in recent days after that, maintained that he was not hitting on Molly Qerim.
Okay.
He said a statement. He didn't say it was a joke or anything. He's like, no, I wasn't hitting on her. Like, and then he even doubled down on it and said that the only way he would, which I thought was like, it's funny, but also, damn it, LeVar, it's
like
one thing you shouldn't say. Yeah. He was like, the only way I'd hit on her is if she was breaking into my house, which he meant like, I'd like punch her if she was breaking into my house. It was like, damn it, LeVar, like, but I get what you're saying. But okay, so he doubled down with that, right? A couple days later, Molly comes out and she's like, she felt like it was inappropriate, but then she also stated that, Jalen didn't really have an issue with it and things like that. And she was happy with how ESPN handled the situation. Which, of course, again, people are like, oh, yeah, see, blah, blah, blah. But also, that's her employer. So, I mean, she's
like how you not going to have your bosses back?
You're not going to go against your employer.
Yeah. Get fired right away.
So, my question is, have we gotten to the point now where only the narrative matters, not a person's actual intent?
Yeah.
Or,
I mean,
that's the truth.
Because, like, look, either, like, she didn't have an issue with it. like after the fact, or like even almost during. It was just like a little like she was caught by surprise by the comment because it could be misconstrued as like hitting. Like most innuendos are. Like at work, fucking anytime my boss says something remotely dirty, I could be working and I could just go, like nice, and then it's like yeah, whatever, it sounded dirty. So right then and there, like she clearly didn't have a problem with it, even though it was kind of like innuendo, right? Whatever. To me, it seemed like there was a group of people that decided for her was like, oh no, she should be offended by that. She should take offense to what he did right now.
Yeah.
They started spreading the story, the narrative of like, oh my God, can you believe he did this thing? And fucking what any big company does when it's like a risk reward thing, it was like for them it was just like the risk isn't worth it. So fuck it, we're gonna ban them. We're gonna please these people, the people that were upset. Nobody's that really upset for LaVar.
No,
like it could be like, oh yeah, I mean it sucks, like it shouldn't happen to him, but whatever. Like even you, like you're like you have a very unbiased opinion of him, right. And even you were like, whatever.
Yeah, like for people who are listening, probably gonna be like, oh, like Dwayne's trying to cape or whatever, or Dwayne likes him, whatever. I don't give two fucks. All right. I will say that I am fond of LaVar for what he does for his kids. Do I care about LaVar personally? I haven't bought any of the fucking shoes. I think they're ugly.
Shit.
I like Lonzo. I think he's a good player, but I mean, he hasn't really done anything because of injuries and stuff. So I'm not a Lakers fan. I have no stake in this shit, right?
I should return the big baller shoes I buy you. Fuck.
You have some? I was trying to buy so many. No, but I have no stake in this, right? I'm just looking at it from a perspective of, okay, people are killing him because it's LaVar Ball. Take that out. If it's this is what makes perfect sense. If this is Manny Montana,
I know him.
This is Manny Montana. Do we get the same reaction?
No. You know why? Because he's liked. It's he doesn't have like this big personality saying like I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And anytime there's a cocky personality on TV or anywhere, right, people want to kill them. Exactly. People want to fucking destroy them. Like think of I always bring this back. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast before, but Usain Bolt. He was breaking fucking records, being the fastest man alive, and at the Olympics, the world's fucking biggest stage. Mm-hmm. He was fucking celebrating, right? People around me that I was watching it with, they were like, "Oh, he's too cocky." Oh, it's like, yeah, he worked hard for like something crazy that no one's ever done before. He should be allowed to be cocky. This dad, very proud of his kids for making it. Wanting to make independent money, not just these deals from like, fucking scraps from big companies. Right. Of course he's gonna be loud because that's the only way you're gonna get attention. Right. And trying to be humble and doing that, you're gonna it's a very slow moving train. Right. You're loud, you're in the spotlight. He's on fucking ESPN on this First Take thing. Like, why is he even on there? Again. Because he's a loud personality, and then he gets a chance to plug his shit. Yeah, going back to the OJ thing episode from last week, what did we say? When people are like, oh my God, he wrote this book. No, he did not. All right. He was offered the book and people wrote it for him. Ghostwriters. Yeah, ghostwriters wrote the book and he just signed on it for the money. LaVar doesn't need the money, but LaVar is a big personality. They need ratings. Your son just got traded. Set up this interview right now. Why weren't they interviewing what's his son? I forget his name. Lonzo. Why ain't they interviewing Lonzo? He's the actual person getting traded. And then this has always been a thing. Like LaVar, and this is why I like LaVar, because LaVar to me has done the one thing that you would want if you're not a big personality. It seems like Lonzo is not a big personality at all, right? No, I'm sure. Yeah, he's just a regular. He's about as regular as like a regular dude would be who's in the NBA. Yeah, and he just likes chilling, right? So if your dad's a big personality, you know that your son isn't one, right? But you know your son's gonna get hounded with all these questions and shit, and all this stuff, right? His dad just took all the attention and the scrutiny away from Lonzo. Yep. Just put it on himself. And he could focus on basketball. Yeah, you do you. All right? I'll talk to them. You do you, chill out. And like I said, his son has never one time been like, Dad, no. Yeah. Dad, stop, and everything like that. Because his son also, I'm quite sure, understands, like, y'all talking to him. Yeah. You guys are talking to him. But you know him. Yeah, I know who he is. Like, you guys know him. He's my dad. You guys know how he's gonna be. So, deal with it and everything like that.
And I feel like there's just, again, like I said, I'm putting like your brother into the situation, or putting anyone I feel like that people like, it automatically turns to a different narrative.
Anything they say, even if you disagreed for your whole life, once they say it what it is or whatever,
right,
their opinion. Oh yeah, he's right. Yeah,
right.
I don't care what all these fuckers say and all these facts, and I don't give a shit. Whatever,
right. And that,
he's right.
And that just goes back to again, I feel like it's like it doubles when it's a minority. Because when you have a loud, cocky minority who's proud or whatever, for some reason, there are issues. There are always issues with these people, right? And we've talked about Floyd on this podcast a lot. Floyd Mayweather, extremely cocky, extremely proud of what he's accomplished, and he should be, but gets lambasted in the media, right? And I get it. Like some stuff, he does say a lot of dumb shit that he puts his foot in his mouth and everything like that. But on the pure athletics alone in the sport of boxing, you can't take nothing away from that, man. You can't, right? Who else? Freaking
just to keep that example going, like on the opposite, Tyson Fury, white boxer, just did this whole fucking spectacle when he came out, knowing he's fighting not someone on his level, doing this whole fucking thing. He this whole Apollo Creed shit. After he won the fight, he fucking sang a whole fucking song to his girl or his wife. I'm not sure what it is.
Right.
Oh, it's so charming. So charming. Oh, you gotta love him. But if Floyd did that, he would be instantly shitting. Oh, shut the fuck up, sit down, stop running, and
fight someone who's really worth it, and
quit singing, blah blah blah, and all this shit.
And then I can even go to another person, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, and we love Conor McGregor here. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor walked around for 3 years talking the most shit I've ever heard a human being talk.
Doing actual wild fucking shit. Throwing fucking stools into bus windows, hurting a shitload of innocent people.
He told another black man during a press conference, "Dance for me, boy. Dance for me. All right, that's what you do. Dance for me, boy." Like, and again, we all know what that means. Yep. All right, wasn't an issue or an eyebrow raised at that. All right, why? Because it's Conor. It's Conor. Like, it's what Conor does. Oh, Conor's in his head and everything like that. Conor, whatever. And then, of course, I'm talking about the Mayweather-McGregor fight. Floyd, says, "Oh, I'm gonna treat you like a little hoe," and throws a whole bunch of money on him, gets killed for it. It's just like, it's just crazy how this happens so blatantly, but no one points it out, or they just choose to turn a blind eye.
Because it starts at a very fucking young age. It's something I heard recently. Someone was like, "Oh, when like in school, whatever grade, when white kids act rowdy like fucking kids do, right? A little crazy, whatever. It's like, oh, they're just being kids. They're just having fun.
Boys will be boys.
But then take any minority and they're doing the same thing. Like, sit down. What are you doing? Fucking pay attention. Quit interrupting class."
Yeah,
it's the same shit. We're conditioned to act that way.
Yeah.
When a fucking minority just does what everyone else does, basically. Like the same.
When a white kid is wilding in class and can't sit down and can't pay attention, it's, oh my God.
It's ADHD. It's a thing. You can't control it.
Can't control it. We think he might have ADHD or ADD. Maybe you should take him to a doctor or whatever. But fucking Devontae can't sit down and won't shut the fuck up. He needs to be moved from classes. I feel like it's the home. Maybe I just feel like he needs to go to remedial school or probably juvenile hall. All right, because Devontae, he's terrible. He's terrible. He is terrible.
Yep.
And it's clear. Like, it's clear that, again, for people who don't believe in white privilege and things like that, it's from birth. All right, you guys are set up to be successful.
It's small things like this that add up to like a big old thing.
A big old thing of like,
society.
You guys will always be ahead of us in the long run, right? And going back to someone like a Lavar Ball, right? Actually, no. Real quick, just recently there was a pitcher. His name is Marcus Stroman for the Blue Jays.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He's one of the few black starting pitchers, and he's fucking amazing. He is good, right? And he is he is pitching his ass off against the Red Sox. And he doesn't like the Red Sox and everything like that. And Marcus Stroman, for his entire career, has been very, like, he's a pitcher who celebrates a lot, right? So he's beating the Red Sox. And there is one of the Red Sox broadcasters. His name is Dennis Eckersley. Dennis Eckersley is a former closer, Hall of Fame pitcher, who also used to celebrate like a motherfucker, right? Dennis Eckersley is white. If you guys don't know who Dennis Eckersley is, the last Dodgers World Series where Kirk Gibson hits the home run, it's off of him, Dennis Eckersley, right? So if you guys know sports, if you don't, whatever. Marcus, his last pitch of that game, I believe, he strikes out this player, and then he yells, and it's so quiet in the stadium that you can hear him yell. And then he's like, but what he does is he yells at the Red Sox dugout, and he's like, yeah, and he's just staring at him, right? Yeah. And then so Eckersley, on cue, starts to shit on Stroman, and he's like, he's like, it's a tired act. Him celebrating like that is a tired act. He's like, it's so tired. He's like, for what? Like, why do that and everything like that?
Something he used to do.
Right. And without notice, the Red Sox lead commentator goes, hey, you used to do the same thing.
Damn.
But like, and of course, Eckersley's like, no, it's not the same and everything like that. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, bullshit.
but I was white when I did it.
I'm not black. You see him? Nigger.
The fucking, what's his name? Kramer from Seinfeld. He's a nigger.
Right? But, or same thing, if you guys saw on ESPN, which I found hilarious, right? And I had to comment on this. There was a white boy who played for Louisville.
White boy?
A white boy. That was a white boy who played for Louisville. And he was a pitcher. And so there was one of the cameras caught, he had struck out this other kid on the other opposing team during the College World Series. And he struck him out. He looked at him, and you could see him mouth him like, fuck you. Like, fuck you.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah, like, after he struck him out, right? Which, again, that's amazing. I'm like, hell yeah, fuck that nigga, man. We getting money out here. You can't hit me, whatever. He's pumped up. And he's like, nigga, don't look at me. Fuck you, right? So, of course, what happens, because this man is white, clearly, or this kid is white, a couple of ESPN anchors and, like, people, like, the clip catches, it goes viral. And people are like, oh, even my boy Londo, shout out to Londo. Londo was like, if baseball was more like this, I would watch it even more. And whatever, right? And I wanted to comment, and I did, but I pretty much was like,
I wanted to, and I did.
No, but I was gonna say something different.
Oh, okay.
All right, I already know where Londo stands on this shit, so I'm not gonna go to him. But I pretty much commented because everyone's talking about like, yeah, this is awesome and everything like that. I just simply said, yeah, it's awesome because he's white. If he was black, it would be classless and bullshit. Or if he was black, Latin,
Bush League.
Yeah, Bush League, it'd be classless, it'd be bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the only reason it's acceptable is because he's white. It's the only reason. Earlier in the year, we had Tim Anderson hit a homer against the team, and black, plays for the White Sox. Their shortstop hits a homer, to go run up in the game. It's late in the game. He's pumped up and everything like that. And the next inning, he gets thrown out after the other team throws at him. He didn't do anything. He gets thrown out because he said the N-word to the pitcher who hit him. Let that sink in.
Makes sense.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
words are harder than
my
fists.
own safety, and it's a joke, man. And it's like these narratives that get built against people. So you have someone like a Lavar Ball, who is everyone's like, everyone since he's been out is like, don't fuck with Lavar Ball. He is bad. He's bad, and he's bad. My question is, why is he bad? What has he done that's bad? I really am looking for. Like, what has he done?
Tell me like a good parent that doesn't think their child the best. It doesn't matter what facts, what stats you put in front of their face. Like, nah, my child's the best.
All right, better question is, would you want your parent to be like, oh yeah, my kid,
he's all right.
He's all right.
Yeah.
Or like, would you want your parents to actually like care about your dreams and push you to be great? Would you want that?
Because like in public, you say he's great and all that shit, but then in private, that's where you can be like, you need to work on this, you need to work on that.
Right.
But in public, you're supposed to be like, no, he's fucking the best.
He's the best, and rightfully so. Because at that time, Lonzo was the best player in college basketball. And again, Lonzo is still like, I don't think he's even 25 yet. All right, and Lonzo still has a great chance to be a very good player in the NBA, right?
And it's just crazy how he hasn't done anything wrong. He's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, like, it's just the cocky attitude. People hate the cocky attitude.
Like it's bullshit.
Yeah, and the narrative did start pretty much from the get-go. They didn't even give him a chance because the first thing I ever heard about him was just like this crazy guy trying to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, why not, man? Why wouldn't you want to build shit off of, like, your kid's back? Like, it's not affecting his game, like, at all, really. It's just another avenue for money.
But at the end of the day, he said this openly. He told his kids, he was like, we can change our lives if we do it this way. And we can not have to worry about money ever again. And people, again, going back on the whole backstory I was going to say about bias and things like that. People like to, they killed him for this. And they're still trying to kill him for this, right? ESPN banned him, which is who fuck ESPN? No one gives a fuck about ESPN, right? But they banned him and things like that. But again, like I said, he wasn't going to be on there a lot anyway because his son doesn't even play for a good market anymore. So why would he be on, right? But it's crazy because you look at someone like him, and then you look at someone like a... damn it, fuck. Shit. Lost train of thought.
Trying to think of another basketball player?
Yeah, but I was going to make a point. I just lost it. Fuck.
Prediction. If Pelicans make it to the finals, Lavar will be back on ESPN. The ban will be lifted.
As soon as the Pelicans fucking get to as soon as they get above 500, he'll be back on ESPN.
Oh, really? Won't even take finals?
Yeah, it won't even take the finals. Like, and it's because, come on, man. Like, but I was trying to, damn it, I was going to say something.
Because that's a double thing. Oh, the lift is banned. Like, the ban is lifted. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone's going to tune into the interview where the ban was lifted. And what are they going to talk about? And it's all marketing, man. It's all it's all narratives. It's all what they want you to believe. It's the same shit where people don't like big fights when it's just like, oh, that guy should have won. It was rigged so that the rematch could happen and blah, blah, blah. And it's all about the fucking story. No one gives a shit about two random ass people fighting. They give a shit about their backstories, their narratives. Like, if you could sell them on your story, they want you to win, and you probably will because the people behind it will want you to win.
My thing is just I want to keep making sure that people understand as you guys are listening to this that I'm not saying Molly Qerim was wrong. Me personally, I feel like it was a reach. Just how she reacted, and again, if that's me looking at it, super just how I felt when I saw it the first time, I'm like, that's a little bit of like pretty girl privilege, which is like girls who, and we know what that is, all right? At least a lot of dudes know what that is, right?
I have pretty girl privilege.
Yes, you do. You're a pretty bitch. When we know that if you're hopefully girls can understand this too. I don't know. But for guys, we understand it, right? So when you see a girl, right, and she's attractive, and let's say you try to have a conversation with that girl, right? A lot of times, nine times out of 10, because you're trying to have a conversation with that girl, they instantly think that you're hitting on them.
Yeah.
And they don't take into account that you don't know me.
Yeah.
B, I could have a girl, have a fiance, have a wife you don't know. See, I'm having a conversation with another human. That's what we do. We talk, right? But because this girl has been, in her mind, and like I said, rightfully so, she's been treated a certain type of way her whole life by men or whoever. She's conditioned to believe, oh, here we go again,
right,
and everything like that, right? So I'm saying I feel like Molly Qerim was more of a victim of that, but I feel like that was a reach. But I feel like I don't.
Do you think people like that? That's you're born with that, or it's conditioned into you?
No, I feel like it's completely conditioned into you. It's conditioned into you once you realize that you look a certain way. Because, prime example, I'm pretty sure you've been told by women that you're attractive, right?
Of course.
I've been told by women that I'm attractive, right? However, I've openly said it like 8 million times. I still see myself as like the little skinny kid from middle school, right?
Me too.
Thanks, man.
You ain't got no gains.
Oh, man. After this, beat your ass. I'm gonna keep it cool for camera.
It's all about the narrative.
It's all about the narrative here, man.
No, but you know, we've openly, you know, I've said that I still see myself that way, right? And I feel like someone who has been constantly told that there's something, because I didn't start being like, I guess like attractive to girls until probably like high school, college. So like probably like freshman year of high school to like college or whatever. That's why I was like, okay, damn, I'm out here, right? But like middle school and shit, like yeah, I had girls talk to me, girls thought I was cute, but I'm like, it's like a vacuum. It's like, you know, it's like, okay, it's like it's these girls, but also I'm cool with these girls. So it's like, what does that mean? Or whatever, right?
It's not some random fucking girl just walking down the street.
Exactly, right? So it's like, okay, you know, I feel like, you know, I'm this person, right? But when you're someone who's been constantly told that you are beautiful or whatever, right? And especially when you have things like today with Twitter and Instagram and things like that, how many times does Molly Qerim get in her DMs or fucking comments and shit, the little fucking heart eye emojis or the whole, oh my God, you're so beautiful and things like that, right? So, of course, you can get into your mind, okay, men look at me a certain type of way. I understand that, right? Which then I get where I feel like it is, you know, it gets misconstrued when someone is talking to you and they're talking to you like a person, you know, like a regular person, and they say something that can be taken a certain type of way, even though I feel like that can't be taken, because I've never heard switch gears be sexual. That's the thing.
You would have to switch up your tone and be like, do that fucking dip when you talk. It has to be that way. It has to be like over exaggerated for like, because you could do that with anything.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like
I do that with anything.
She could have easily been like,
LeVar, let's change the subject. He can be like, you can change any subject with me.
Oh yeah, girl.
Right. That's again now because of my tone. Yeah. Or she can be like, LeVar, I hate your son. He can be like, you can hate anybody in my family. Like anything, you can take that and switch to anything, right? I don't see how it really is. I don't see how switch gears is like sexual or like him shooting his shot.
Because if you print out the transcription of the interview, right? So just words on paper.
Just read the words.
You'll be like, what happened here? Why was there a pause here? Why did Stephen what's his name?
Stephen A. and Max
say what did he say? Like, oh man, come on. Like, why did he say that then? Right. There, like.
And again, but
also I feel like that goes to people's narrative and intentions in their head.
Yeah, preconceived notions.
Yeah, because if you react the way that they reacted, because it, like, again, I'm looking at it, I'm just watching it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what was said. I'm just watching it, and I'm like, wait, what am I, like, I watch, I'm like, what am I looking for?
Right, because if you're not in the headspace, you're like, what just happened? Me, I'm constantly in the headspace, so I'm like, that sounds wrong. I'm constantly
trying to fuck shit, man.
Yeah, just, it's the only jokes we really do, what I do with my boss, like, it's the only jokes we tell, so it's like, it's just in there. Damn it.
It's all right, man. Yeah, so far on this podcast, you're an oversexed, gay, racist.
Apparently. Damn you, narrative.
Who fucks all his siblings' partners. That's what we do.
The wedge.
The wedge. Mark.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so like when he showed me the clip, because I just heard the clip right before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
And when it played, I was just like, oh yeah, he was. In my head, I was like, oh, that was a hit. Like he was hitting on her.
Right.
But again, because that's my headspace when I'm going into it.
I feel like that's something where, like you said, if your headspace is in that moment, you can see it that way. If your headspace is not in that moment, it can't be seen that way. I literally didn't see it that way. I was like, what am I looking for here? Because I was thinking he's gonna be like, damn, like your pretty ass can switch whatever. I was like, oh mother, come on, LeVar, man, why you do that?
Yeah, when he throw like words like that.
Yeah, like, but he didn't say that. I was just like, wait, what am I looking for? And then like I was just like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Like, for this, like, and of course since then, now, Dez Bryant, who is a wide receiver in the NFL, used to play for the Cowboys, has come out and said that, you know, which was I fuck with Dez, man. Dez added Molly Qerim and was like, "Hey, yo, you was reaching on that, like, yeah, he didn't say nothing wrong. You need to chill, like, and everything." I'm just like, look. I feel like that's appropriate because, well, no, that wasn't appropriate because it wasn't Molly. Like I said, I don't feel like it was Molly.
Yeah.
I feel like, this is just my honest opinion, I feel like it was her reaction, and then ESPN, I feel like they kind of coerced that situation and was like, oh, hey, hey, do you feel not comfortable? Do you feel like he said this? Well, we're gonna come with this, gonna come with that, and everything. It's pushing a narrative, right? But I honestly feel like if he would have said that to her anywhere else, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Right. But again, it is what it is. But Des Bryant was like, he added her and was like, you reaching. Like, I didn't see how that was sexual in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, you could do that because it is just an opinion. Right. So why not, like, hey, this is my opinion. You care to comment?
Right. Like, and it just sucks because I guess it's a sad realization that we're getting into that type of time now. Yeah. Where anything that is said that someone doesn't like or feels like you're attacking me or whatever is going to be seen that way, and it sucks. Like, because now, like I said, if you take out Lavar, insert anyone you want to insert or whatever.
Nice. See, there I just did it right now.
Again, and I didn't think that way. So you said like nice, but insert anyone you want to insert into this situation, right? It's not going to be seen that way at all. There's also a clip that I find that's been circulating too, because Molly Qerim used to work for the NFL Network, and there was a clip where they're like someone's trying to demonstrate like a certain play that was being ran for a certain team or something, and they had Molly for some reason be the hiker. Oh. So she was the center in this situation. She was the center, and Molly kind of walks forward because she's gonna throw the guy the ball between her legs and everything like that, right? But the guy on the clip, I don't know who this was, so I'm not gonna go on him and everything like that. Y'all can find the clip and shit on him, whatever. But on the clip, the dude's like, "Where you want me to be? You want me to be here?" And he goes like, basically like he has the ball up under her skirt, and she's like, she turns around and she's like no, and like they all like he's all laughing and stuff and everything. Like he's like oh, okay, and he backs up and everything like that. That right there, that is blatant. All right,
that's real blatant.
That's super blatant. But of course, that was like 3-4 years ago. Mm. Who cares, right? How harmless fun. But now in today's time, if he would have did that, first of all, he wouldn't even done it. Like, no way he would have done that shit on national TV like that.
NFL,
oh, he would. No, he wasn't in the NFL at that time. Okay. He was just like he was retired. He was an analyst or whatever. But
kicked out of retirement
and made the play and then hurt and then put back into retirement. But it was just something that was so wild, and I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah. I'm like, you compare this, you're like, compare these two. They're not even comparable at all. No. At all. But because we don't like Lavar. It's seen as like, oh yeah, of course he would do something like that. Get him out of here. Just, I'm tired of him. And I'm like, nah, man, we got to sit back and really, again.
I get why people go off just the clips though, like the one we played about him saying like, stay in your lane.
That's dangerous.
Because nobody has time. Well, people probably do, but no one's gonna like put the effort in to really research the backstory. Like, oh, what happened? Let me go back and back and back. It's like, no, for most people, it's like, this is the start of how I know this person and pretty much how I'm always going to see this person.
See, I don't believe that. I believe that they will do the backstory if they're liked. Period.
If they're what?
If whoever is being accused of something is liked.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if someone's liked and they get accused of something bad, they'll go do the research.
Yeah, they'll do the research.
But if you're already like looked at as like some crazy person or whatever, no one's going to do the research for you.
Again, I can use this with anybody. If you guys think, oh, you're just caping because he's black and everything like that. No, I can do the same thing and say Michael Jackson. There's a lot of
that's true.
There's a lot of evidence that showed that, hey, maybe he didn't. We don't know if he did or didn't molest these kids, right? But there's evidence to that this nigga was weird. All right, there's pure evidence to that.
Can't argue that.
You can't argue that shit, right? He, for some odd reason, any situation where you think a grown man sleeping with children is normal, you're fucked in the head, right? Any situation you think that shit is normal, you're fucked in the head. So, especially a grown man. Even I would say like a grown man, if it's your kids, like when they're babies, sure. But when they get like to a certain age, get your ass out that bed. What is wrong with you, right?
Like, let me have a sleepover with these kids from these families I don't know.
Right,
and
what? And me be like 30-some-year-old Michael Jackson, 40-some-year-old Michael Jackson, and I'm sleeping shirtless or in my pajamas, and we're all in our pajamas in the bed and everything like that. It's weird, bro. Yeah. I'm not saying he did anything. I'm just saying that picture is fucking weird, right? But because people love Michael Jackson, everything he ever did was like, no, this is a lie. This is this is that. no, this is because this. Like I said, all that shit could be a lie about him touching those kids. It could be a lie. But what is the plain fact, because he fucking said to himself, yes, I sleep with children in my bed. That is a fact. We have sleepovers. That's fucking weird.
That's
all right?
fucking weird.
But no, they still, people to this day say that's a fucking lie. I'm like, how? This nigga said
why would anyone say that about themselves? How is that positive look at all?
Fucking R. Kelly. Again, it's on tape.
Yeah.
And people still like, no, them girls lying. Them girls want the money. All that shit. I'm like, he was fucking children. No, still nothing. And it's crazy, right? If you're liked, you can get away with murder.
Yeah, and if you're not liked...
OJ. Bring it back to last week's episode. I'm not done with this shit.
Nah, because and then if you're not liked, simple fucking little things that you do will be scrutinized.
Crucified.
Let's say Colin Kaepernick. Fucking, because he was sitting down, right? First he wasn't really protesting. He was just sitting down. He was just like, I don't want to stand up for the anthem.
I'm not gonna stand for it.
He got the idea about kneeling from a fucking veteran.
Yeah, in the military.
Right? That fact was brought up, but no one gives a shit that it was brought up by a fucking someone in the military
who was like, hey, this would be the more respectful way to do it in a protest.
Even with that fact, it was still like, oh, he hates the troops. He hates this. He hates this. I was like, how can he hate them if he got the idea from them? But still, that shit was buried, and it was still like, fuck this guy, fuck this guy, fuck this guy.
The lines got blurred, and it was funny because like you're bringing up the troops and shit like that. Yeah. That was one of the reasons the lines got blurred. That shit had nothing ever to do with the military. It had everything to do with police brutality and the treatment of black people. And what happened? They blurred the fucking lines and was like, oh, Colin Kaepernick doesn't support the military. This is why you can't fuck with Colin Kaepernick because he hates America. And it's like, what?
But then you hear stories like all the time about like, oh, these players beating their wives, they're fucking drinking and driving, they're fucking committing crimes, whatever, like that. Just got signed back to this team, just got signed over there, contract extended, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, what's the difference, guys?
Again, if you guys want to, if you guys feel a certain type of way about this episode, feel a certain type of way about what we're saying when it comes to, like, LaVar and shit, I'm going to be honest, right? ESPN is a piece of shit. Right? And there's people on ESPN who I love, right? Like, Stephen A. is dope, right? And he's needed. He's necessary. No matter how you feel about him, he's fucking necessary, right? But there's a lot of people who are employed by ESPN or who were employed by ESPN who were pieces of shit. Okay? Like, and it's just fact, right? There, I don't know if he's still on the air with them, but there is a John Butchergross who got outed for having some inappropriate text conversations with a former anchor.
Oh, I think I remember when that was
at ESPN. She was a black girl, and no matter how it was construed or whatever, it was inappropriate because at points he started sending her like pictures with himself shirtless, and then he started calling her like pet names and shit like that, and it was inappropriate. Now, again, depending on how you feel about that girl, what you think her end game was, who knows? Whatever, right? But still, we can say that was inappropriate. He shouldn't have done that, right? Still employed, I believe. He's not gone, right? And they've hired countless NFL players who beaten their wives or countless DUIs. No, they don't give a fuck. Yeah. They employed Michelle Beadle, who I'm gonna be honest, I don't like Michelle Beadle because she is one of the main people who spreads these bullshit narratives about people, and she's allowed to because she is a white woman, and that's just fact. She's allowed to, and no one fucking stops her. Okay, she openly, which I thought was bullshit. She openly, her and someone else on I don't know if it was Rachel Nichols or another woman who works for ESPN. They openly went to a couple of Floyd Mayweather's fights and protested that he was a woman beater and all these things, and constantly said on the air that he was a woman beater and things like that, which, of course, none of that has ever been fucking proven or anything like that. The only thing that he's been accused of in with that shit is he threw a phone out of his, I think it was his baby mother's, like he broke her phone.
but nothing's ever been found about him hitting her or anything like that. Not to mention he is the greatest boxer ever. So I feel like if he's gonna hit her or do something, you're gonna see it. Like, we're gonna see pictures or something. There was nothing, right? But they ran with that narrative. And again, like I said, you can feel how you want to feel. You can have opinions and shit, that's cool. But when you start to go to the point of, I want to end this man's career and stuff like that, because I personally don't like him, because that's what that was. I personally don't like him. That's bullshit. The reason I bring that up is then, lo and behold, as karma would have it, Michelle Beadle was friends with the Giants' former kicker. I think his name was Josh Brown or something like that. Mm-hmm. Giants' former kicker, who was white, by the way. They were friends. And his wife outed him on being an extreme fucking domestic violence, like, abuser. And he beat her constantly. And this is Michelle Beadle's friend, right?
Oh, shit.
So he beat his wife constantly. And she came out and was like, he's done this and done that, and he's so abusive, all these things, right? So, of course, the media has a fucking firestorm on that nigga, right?
Yeah.
Where's Michelle Beadle throughout this whole situation? Still on ESPN, quiet as fuck. Quiet as shit. All right? Didn't say shit. And then at one point, she even said, like, I know people expect me to say something, but, like, what do they want me to do? Like, the guy, like, you know, he did something wrong, but he's my friend or some shit like that. It was like some bullshit like that. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. No. Keep that same energy, bro. Keep that same fucking energy. All right? This is the same lady who shitted on Mike Vick for the dogs incident situation after Mike Vick spent 2 years of his life in prison for that shit. Did all the time. All right? He did the fucking time.
Paid the debt.
Paid the debt. All right? Has done everything humanly possible to rehabilitate himself from what I don't know, but rehabilitate himself to fucking be seen
from
as
fighting dogs.
I guess, but I mean his cousins ran it, but whatever. But to make himself seem like a good person in front of these white people's eyes and shit like that, and still you're like, fuck him. Still,
yeah.
She openly talked about how Kawhi Leonard was selfish and he would never win an NBA championship because he left. She's a fan of the Spurs. He left the Spurs and he's a dickhead and all this stuff and everything like that. And he's selfish and fucking egomaniac. And what did he do? Left. Won a championship the next year. Such an egomaniac that all these people love him.
He's the quietest fucking champion I've ever seen.
That is my point, man. They make these bullshit ass narratives on people.
That also goes like to a thing people do too when they shit so heavy on something like on Floyd beating women. It's because something like that is happening personally. Like you hear it's a fucking cliche now. It's just like, oh, the congressman or the preacher that oh, fuck gays and gays should blah blah blah
fucking
blah.
Little boys or
and then like eventually the story comes out. It happens so much, and now anytime like someone says shit like that, it's all like, oh, that dude's gay.
Gay.
Oh, that person's gay.
Super gay.
Yeah, like Mike Pence. Yeah, gay. You can tell. Like,
sorry, man,
like
gay.
there's no reason like for like
you to be like that. Like hate so much.
It's just like clearly something's going on. I'm like, what the fuck? But to bring it back to like what we're talking about, because like there's fucking countless examples of this shit. It's fucking narrative versus the truth.
Yeah.
Like, does it matter anymore? Like, what's the most important thing? Because I know what people want to think and what want to be true, which is the truth.
Right.
But how many times do you actually see that happening? And how many times have you actually cared about the truth? Like getting the backstory.
I was about to say, I'm like, does it even matter anymore if the narrative is way better than the truth?
Yeah.
This doesn't matter. I'm like, because we can have this whole conversation up and down for hours on end, right? But at the end of the day, we're still going to be up in the same position of, okay, she didn't feel comfortable for whatever reason, so he's wrong because of that situation, right?
Yeah.
But if we're going off of, again, only thing you can do is take a man at his word at the end of the day. He's saying publicly, I didn't hit on her. I said it the way I said it, and I wouldn't change anything about how I said it. And that's it. Also, people, again, I feel like they forget, like I said, Lavar is married. His wife
is
married.
Oh no, but his wife had a debilitating stroke, and she is, I believe, she's wheelchair bound, and that man vowed not only get his kids to where they needed to be, didn't leave his wife, didn't do none of that. All right.
He easily could have. Like, he could have ran while she just rolled somewhere.
That is not funny, but that is funny. But I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, this man has been with his wife throughout all this.
Yeah.
There's been no hint of like, oh, no, we saw Lavar out cheating with blah, blah, blah. We saw whatever. It's like, why would he choose that day to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Molly, you know, like
yeah, Molly's happening right now.
Yeah, yo, she looked too good.
She's
today.
in a whole different state, studio. She married. This is the prime one to take.
It's come on.
Let's switch gears, girl.
It's so stupid, and I feel like people just didn't care. Like they just wanted to get that nigga.
Yeah, I feel like this is the thing I said in the beginning. It's just like a group was offended. They brought attention to it, and they made it a thing because they were offended. So now everyone has to be offended, which I fucking hate that shit. It's like, if I was offended at something, it's my thing to deal with. It's my issue to deal with.
Yeah.
I don't all of a sudden bring like, oh, I'm offended. You know what? Because I'm offended,
you need to be offended.
Dwayne is offended too, even though he's like, what just happened? What's going on? Like, it's fucking stupid, man. And that's what I think. Like, if you're gonna make it's basically the point of the show. This show, if you're gonna stand on something and have a fucking opinion on it, you better fucking stand on it or be willing to stand on it by yourself. Because if not, you'll be shitted on. Like, that's really the only time we make fun of each other a lot.
Right.
Is when, like, I have a certain, like, I'll say a certain opinion. Dwayne will, I don't know, make fun of it or something. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I get shitted on more for that than what my original opinion was.
Yeah. Like,
so it's like...
Yeah, we don't care what people think, what people believe. That's your right.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, like you said, of the show. It's your right to believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. Only thing we care about is at the end of the day, when someone comes at you with a point, a counter to it, you need to stand by it. Don't do the whole like, you know,
I'm gonna yell louder so I'm right.
Yeah, or don't do the whole like, oh, you don't get it because you're just not a part of it, or you're just not.
Oh, you just haven't. Yeah, it's like no, I could like I have a thought experiment. That's what thought experiments are.
Yeah, like
putting yourself in that person's position.
If it's my opinion on this, it's my opinion. That's it. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's someone's opinion, right? Because that's opinions, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that because you don't like my opinion, that makes it not valid.
Yeah, like think about it. If I did it on the hot takes, like I'm the one that posts the response to the hot takes. What if all I did was just share the ones I agreed with? Like how fucking unfair would that be?
Yeah, and like again, you guys, we've never taken down one comment that's been on these videos, on the hot takes that we've been DM'd, anything. We haven't been like, oh, that's what we don't care.
Yeah,
feel how you want to feel. We've had people from the hot takes, from the comments, call us all kind of shit. Like we've had people in the fucking the Instagram DMs say that you know, I think a girl called us pedophiles at one point, which was
because it was the question shaved or unshaved, and the whole thing with shaved, it's linked to porn and it's linked to pedophilia because of this and that, and all I did was like
all an opinion by her.
Yeah, it was all an opinion. I called it. I was just like, yeah, that's certainly your opinion, but like, you know, whatever. And she's like, oh no, just because you don't like it, it doesn't mean it's an opinion. It's fact. I'm like, no, by definition, it's an opinion.
Yeah,
like,
that's what that is.
I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just telling you it's an opinion. That's all it is, and it's just, and she couldn't even stand on it. It was funny because like she goes like, "Oh, those are my husband's thoughts." I was just like, "Okay, cool." Like, so it's not even you're not even really standing on it by yourself.
To wrap this up, again, we just had this whole conversation, right? Yeah. Mark feels like that, and you know he was hitting on her. I feel like he wasn't. All right.
But again, it's all where your headspace is at.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that I'm like, oh, what? I'm like, my whole goal is to change Mark's narrative on it, or to be like, Mark, no, he wasn't, whatever. Mark feels a certain type of way, cool. He stood on it, cool. I feel this way, cool. That's it, right?
And now that I know like more of the backstory, my opinion is like, it's like, yeah, he could have just been talking. Right. Like, still a part of me thinks he's hitting on her, but like, yeah, I could see how it's like he's just saying switching gears.
Yeah, and also I can see how Mark is like, okay, yeah, no, he hit on her because he said something like that, and I get it, she's attractive. I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, it could be seen that way. Like, I understand it, but what I'm saying is, do not try to make people to be something that they're not. Yeah. Which is what is dangerous about all this shit today, because we're making people out to be all kind of shit that they're just not. All right, save that for the people who actually are. All right, that's my issue, is because we spend so much energy trying to kill people that we hate, right? And then we don't even do it. That's the thing. We don't do it. But the people who don't deserve it or whatever, something happens weird or whatever, right? And they have like a bad run-in or something, right? They're turned into freaking, oh no, let's get them the fuck out of here. Like, and it's like, why? Like, we've been screaming impeach Trump since day one. He's still right there. Nothing's happening. He's not going nowhere. And he ain't going nowhere. But every day there's some new fuck on Twitter who's like, we have to get him out of here. And why is he still here? And how? Maybe because you're on Twitter talking about it. Go fucking do something about it then. If you want his ass gone. Like, I hate this shit, man. Like,
that's the thing. If you really want to change people's minds and have them see it your way, the whole like shouting and anger and fucking standing on your pedestal so high, they're never gonna do it, because at the very least, out of spite, they'll be like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna keep thinking what I think. But if you have like a rash card, like, hey, have you ever like, what about this? Like, have you ever seen it like this?
Yeah.
And then like just like kind of like you ease people into it, because even doing that, they might fucking change your mind and be like, oh shit.
Exactly.
And the whole point is like, fucking open your mind, man.
Be open, all right? Be gaping.
Nice.
Thank you. But the last thing I'm gonna say on all this stuff is, at the end of the day, when it comes to shit like this and everything, it doesn't matter. All right? It does not matter what you believe, what you want to believe, and things like that. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is the actual truth. Now, the thing that people get misconstrued is what they consider the truth is. Okay?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you cannot change someone's truth. You can't. All right? Because that man says that he didn't say it that way. He didn't say it that way. That's just facts, all right? Unless you have some evidence that says, no, see, he's been spying on Molly Qerim this whole time. He's waiting to shoot his shot and everything like that. Now, I don't give a fuck what you got to say, honestly, like, when it comes to this shit, because that is, again, your opinion, right? Same way it's my opinion, and I'm saying that he didn't say it the way he said it, right? But at the end of the day, you gotta let people say their actual opinions. Do not kill people. Do not try to be like, oh no, you're stupid because of this, that, and the third. People want to know why I don't comment on these things and why I don't engage as much as like Mark does and things like that. It's because of that. All right, I don't have time to argue with you on bullshit. Because at the end of the day, it's bullshit. All right. We said this obviously behind like off camera and things like that, but we are completely open. We are completely open to anyone coming on and having a conversation with us on anything. Yeah. If you're a fucking white supremacist, come on board. Tell us why you hate niggas and minorities.
As long as you don't fucking take it to the whole yelling shit.
Yeah. As long as you're civil, you can have a conversation. We'll listen to you. If you are a feminist and you feel like men are the devil, we'll listen to you. Like, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to talk about, we're willing to listen to you. And we're going to break down why you feel that way, or why we feel a certain type of way, and we're hopefully going to get into at least an understanding. Yeah. Doesn't mean that you're going to change my opinion, his opinion, or your opinion. But at the end of the day, if we can get to an understanding of why we think a certain way we think, cool. That's the whole point of the podcast.
Yeah, they fucking make movies out of it, man. There was I forgot who was in it, but it was basically like this huge white racist guy. It was like back in the 70s or 80s, something like that. This black lady just befriends him, and he slowly starts learning and like, but they both start like having like change of hearts. Oh, probably. I didn't watch the movie, but probably. Yeah. Come on, who doesn't have jungle fever?
I mean, she was thick,
of course, and he was also thick. He had a nice ass. But it was basically like that. People like if they make movies out of it, it's just like it's something worth doing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah, it can't hurt unless you like very prone to like joining cults, then maybe not.
Or very tight.
Yeah, if you're tight, then maybe stay away. God damn it.
It's gonna hurt if it's very tight. So.
I mean, it is. You gotta keep practicing. Lube, people. Lube. Water-based, gel-based, something that you're not allergic to. Just do the research.
But, hit it with the plugs, Mark.
One last thing. My last thing I'm gonna say before I hit the plugs.
Sometimes a little too tight, which is when you gotta use a little extra lube. I like to use the spit from Mormons. I don't know, man.
No, fucking the Reading Rainbow song has been stuck in my head this whole time.
Butterfly in the sky.
Because you kept saying LeVar, and in my head, it's always like LeVar Burton.
Yeah, LeVar Burton.
But whatever, that's like... Now it's stuck in your head, people. You're welcome. But the plugs, you can find us on youtube.com/howdoiknowyou. You can find us on Twitter, HDIKY1.
Double boom.
Also on Twitter. I changed it, folks, so it's a lot easier for you to find.
Yeah.
My personal one, Mr. Lucky 005 everywhere.
Boom. My personal one, at DC Junior 13 on Twitter. I'm there the most if you want to interact with me. And also on Instagram at DC Junior BFSB. I'm not there a lot, but if you hit me or whatever, I'll see it. And then I'll, if it's cool, I'll comment and all that cool stuff.
Yep. And currently we are at 444, damn it,
what?
440, too many fours, subscribers. And that fucking, thank you guys. That's like 40 subscribers since last week.
Yeah.
Which is fucking, every time it goes up, I'm like, this is crazy. I'm going to say it every time. I don't care how big we get.
We are creating an army. We're creating a whole new freaking way of thinking about life, which is, damn it.
Because, man, soon we're going to have the power to, like, if I'm offended, then all these people are offended.
And we can turn it back on. Yo,
yeah,
see what we just did there? He said, what? HDIKY, get him.
HDIKY.
But no, it's dope. I feel like we're creating a space where we can have all these conversations and no one's going to be looked at as like you're crazy or you're insane and everything like that.
Yeah.
We can have these conversations and we can debate and we can leave being cool still. We don't have to leave being like, I'm out of here. I don't want to listen to you guys anymore. I'm leaving your channel and things like that, which is whatever. But
I do, anybody that gets this far in the podcast that like listen straight through, real fans. I want to ask you, if we asked you to leave a 5-star review and also a review on whatever streaming service we end up joining, will you do it? Let me know in the comments.
Hit a 1 for yes, 2 for no,
3 for stop talking to me.
Niggas,
damn it, we almost had the same fucking joke almost.
But like I always say, if I don't know and you don't know,
who really knows?
And how do I know you? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching on the YouTubes. All that cool stuff. Continue to subscribe and support. We'll be there for y'all if y'all there for us.